name is Haskett, and I'm going to talk to you this evening about risk-taking for the meek. I'm a serial entrepreneur with 2 successful exits, but I started as a student in college studying applied mathematics. And after getting my undergraduate degree, I took the obvious career path, became a skydiving instructor, of course. I taught thousands of people how to skydive. I competed at the collegiate and national level. I traveled all over the world, jumping out of perfectly good airplanes, and all around had a really good time. And eventually, I sold that company, went back, got my master's degree, started another company. This one was doing training development. After all that skydiving training, it seemed like a natural step. But this company started doing training for a defense contractor. So I ended up bringing a team of people to Baghdad, that's it. And we started developing training for a lot of biometrics-related projects, and did a couple of other projects and more projects, and those went really well. And I ended up getting acquired, and then I became a defense contractor for real. And so I started managing bigger projects, and I was working directly with foreign governments and doing some other really scary things. And I did my 2 years, and then I quit and decided to do my 3rd startup. And that one's called Tactical Information Systems. And we took all of that technology, the biometric work we've been doing, and we've created a platform for biometric matching in the cloud. So we can do very low-cost matching of fingerprints, iris, and face prints. But for me, the big difference was I used to have people who did things for me, and now I'm working in coffee shops and sweating the $25 luggage fee when I travel. So why am I up here talking to you about risk-taking? It's because I'm a coward. I'm a scaredy cat. I'm a shy person. I'm an introvert. And I can't imagine, that I would ever end up doing these things. So how did it happen? When I was a freshman, I went in to the student center at good old Texas A&M, and there were these 2 nut jobs, the cute guy and the funny guy, and they were showing videos of people skydiving, and there's no way in hell I was going to do that. But the funny guy talked me into it, and I ended up marrying him, so he's a very persuasive person. But I was the worst student ever. I made them repeat everything. I made them let me practice extra time. And even then, at the end of the day, when I got in the airplane, I said, no way in hell am I doing this. I decided in my own head, I'm not doing this. So he said, are you ready to skydive? And I'm starting to say the word no. And he goes, great. And he opens the door and starts pushing my feet out. And my brain completely shut down. I was so terrified. And in the absence of a brain, my body did what it practiced all afternoon and started climbing out of the door. I let go, and it was like being dropped into a blue cube. I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, I couldn't move. Complete shutdown of the brain. It was the most terrified I'd ever been in my entire life. And then I felt this tug on my shoulders, the parachute opened, and I came back. And in a moment, I went from being the most terrified I'd ever been in my life to the biggest, most orgasmic rush I'd ever felt. So it was a lot like being an entrepreneur, really. But that day changed my life because it forced me to change the calibration in my head for fear and danger. And everything wonderful that's happened to me has started with me doing something really scary, even if it's just getting up here and doing an Ignite speech where I'm worried I'm going to make an ass out of myself. Because really, the worst case scenario, if I totally screw up this speech, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to end up in a wheelchair. I'm unlikely to have any broken bones. So I have a challenge for all of you meek people out in the audience. Do something that scares you. It doesn't necessarily have to be skydiving. It can be picking up a bug. It can be asking out a girl. Whatever it is, that's up to you. But my request is to be a cautious risk taker. Be the scared bunny, because you don't want to be the next guy on this next slide. You want to be a calculated risk taker. Consider your plan A, your plan B, your plan C. Think about your alternatives and your worst case scenario. But realize your worst case scenario is unlikely to end up in death, dismemberment, or personal injury. Most likely, the worst case is you're going to feel like an ass. If worst case, maybe you got drunk, it ended up on YouTube, okay, that could be bad. But most likely, everyone else will forget about it long before you have. It's just not that big of a deal. So I want everyone to repeat after me. Looking foolish will not kill me. Looking foolish will not kill me. Thank you. You should say this to yourself every day because it is absolutely true. Looking foolish will not kill you. It's not fatal. So the next slide is a quote that I love. I first saw it when I started skydiving, and people said, skydivers have a death wish. You're going to die. I said, are you kidding me? Skydivers have a life wish, if anything. If you do something that scares you, even a little thing, pretty soon your life really does become a daring adventure. So take a deep breath, pick up the spider, ask out the girl, come give an Ignite presentation. You're very unlikely to die in the attempt, and something wonderful is bound to happen.